Have you ever caught yourself clenching your jaw or lifting your shoulders or tightening your feet, holding your breath and wondered, why am I so tense? Like nothing bad is even happening. Well, if that sounds familiar, maybe you need to hear this. Your body may not be overreacting to something that's going on right now. It may simply be running a very old, primitive protective program. Today, I want to explore why chronic tension can become the body's default setting and why so many of us these days feel like we're stuck in on mode. And probably most importantly, a gentle somatic practice that helps the nervous system rediscover what ease actually feels like through contrast. So by the end of the video, I hope you'll stop blaming yourself for being tense all the time and start understanding there's an intelligence behind it all. Your body is actually incredibly wise. I'm Dr. Melanie Carlone. I'm a somatic physical therapist, a breath and nervous system educator, a yoga teacher. I've had more than 40 years of clinical practice. I got a master's and a doctorate in physical therapy. Yeah, kind of a fool for punishment. And I'm trained in 2 forms of yoga education and breath work, which has really added to my whole thinking. Some folks actually even call me the body whisperer because I can see things sometimes that from years of practice that other people can't. And I work with people living with chronic pain, bracing, fatigue they can't understand, stress overload, and nervous systems that are just feeling like it's all too much, especially with people who feel unseen by conventional medical care. And one of the really common things I hear is, I don't know why I'm always so tense. My life is actually okay, or I'm getting better, but I'm still tense. And that's exactly why this conversation matters. Because chronic tension isn't always a response to what's happening right now. And that's important to know. Sometimes it's what your body has learned to expect, and the trigger will set it off. So the question becomes, if nothing dangerous or alerting is happening right now, why doesn't my body just let go? Well, the truth is your nervous system is always learning. And if you've spent months or years moving through life under stress, having pressure, or being in places of real uncertainty, or even just that habit of rushing from one thing to the next, your body begins to assume that's normal. And it adapts that way. And eventually, tension becomes the baseline that runs through everything. It's not because you chose it specifically. It's because your system adapted to what was going on. Your shoulders stay slightly lifted. Your jaw keeps a little extra tone or grinding. Your belly never fully softens and your breath is shallow. And after a while, the truth is you don't even notice it because your body just feels like that's normal. But your body remembers. In physical therapy, we look at this, we call it allostatic load, and it's the slow cost of the body staying ready all the time for a threat that may have passed long ago. One of my awesome teachers, Thomas Hubel, highly recommend, describes it beautifully. So much of our stress becomes normalized, so it stops even showing up as stress at all. It just thinks, that's how we are. But here's the really gentle truth. Your real resting place is still in there. It's deep. You've just forgotten the way back to it, but it's there. So if tension can become a habit, how does the body decide where to hold it, and what can you do about it? So some people carry stress in the jaw. That's me. Others in the neck. Some in the low back or the hips or the belly. And they're not random choices. They're often places that you're kind of given to, and your nervous system learned to give you stability and protection by tensing there. I think of it like a protector map. And your body's favorite strategy, the one that works, is the one the body tends to reuse. So you may notice that same shoulder is always climbing up towards your ear, or maybe it's both, or one hip is always gripping one side of the body, always going tight. This isn't damage. These are patterns. There's patterns. And in somatic work, we see this as protective patterning. The body's trying to help you. It's bracing along familiar lines to keep you upright, to keep you safe, to make sure everything's okay. But it's a really primitive reflex. So when your life gets really busy, which all of our lives are now, or when you're just simply concentrating, you can return to that familiar tension, that shape. So if your body's learned to protect itself this way, can you just tell it, stop? You can't force relaxation. And this is where so many people get frustrated. We tell ourselves inside, oh, for heaven's sakes, just relax your shoulders, just breathe, calm down, like that inner voice. But if you noticed, your body doesn't respond to the commands of your brain. It responds to the felt experience of the primitive brain. It responds to that feeling again of being safe enough. That's why trying harder can often backfire and you just feel worse about yourself. To a guarded nervous system, trying to force things reads like even more pressure. And how much of us love more pressure? More pressure asks for more protection, so it becomes like a vicious cycle. There's a principle I come back to over and again, that the rate of your change is often governed by the level of your compassion. Your body shows you the next layer to undo only when you meet it gently, never when it's pushed. So if willpower isn't the enduring answer, what is? Now, before we go on, let's just practice it. Let's pause for a second and notice. Tune in. Where are you holding tension right now? Just notice. Are you gripping your feet, tightening your butt, pulling your shoulders back? Notice it without judgment. Just be curious. You don't have to change it. Be curious. Let yourself become aware of it. And I'd actually love to hear, if you take a minute, just write it in the comments. Where do you notice habitually you carry stress? And of course, if it's landing, give it a subscribe. Give me a subscribe and let me keep growing this YouTube channel, because I love doing this and it helps me keep making these videos and ideas come forward. So let's lead it into a practice, a listening conversation. So this practice isn't about fixing. It's about listening to your nervous system. Nothing to achieve, nothing to force. You can stop anytime. Just stay curious about whatever shows up and notice what happens. So, first step, get comfortable, feel your body, and widen your awareness. Instead of pulling the focus inward, let your eyes gently look around the room. Let them move slowly, and just take in colors, edges, your breath, the light. For a moment, quiet into what is happening. This is called orienting. Because when the eyes move and then the head, and they discover there's no threat, the body often lets go of a little vigilance all on its own. And just notice for yourself. Breathing, eyes, head, what happens? All right, now let's widen that even more. Find the back of your body. Now this is a really interesting thing, because when you're vigilant, your orientation is forward. Everything's like pinpoint aware, and the body's alert. But I want you now, after orienting, just think about what's behind you. Just imagine it. You don't have to turn around. Just feel the space behind you. Now you're telling that vigilant part to widen into peripheral awareness. Become aware of the whole back of your body. And the thing I want you to do with that is to pause, put your hands around your ribs, and breathe behind you into the low back ribs. Let the inhale expand out the back of you. And as you do that, here's the part I really want you to feel. Don't make a big breath. Don't overperform it. Just intend to breathe back there and free your body. And wait till the breath arrives back there on its own. Now, if your brain gets jungled, like, what's she talking about? Just try it. Because somewhere in there, an easier inhale and a deeper exhale may come without trying. And as you do this, you may notice that your shoulders drop and the floor seems to be under your feet easier. That's your tell. That's your body saying, I'm a little safer now. Right? Another one, step 3, conscious contrast. Okay, this is where you can use the felt sense of the tension to be the mirror to the letting go. Okay? So I'm going to ask you to draw your shoulders up towards your ears. Don't have to hurt, don't have to overdo, but just draw them up and keep going. And notice there's a shape there that your body knows. Keep breathing in your low back, and then let your shoulders melt down really slowly over a long count of 5. 2, 3, 4, not dropping them. 5, dissolving them. And feel the difference between forcing them down or trying to let them down and letting them unwind. Now, once more, if you'd like, up really gently and slowly. Bring them up, feel them, contrast, tension, and then very softly let them go. 5. Breathe in low back. 4. Notice the relaxation. 3. Soften. 2. Let go completely. 1. You paid attention to the contrast between tension and relaxation. It's powerful. Notice now your breath. Notice how you're feeling inside. Maybe your stomach's gurgling. Parasympathetic activation, quieting the body. Kids, try one more. All of these are things you can use at various times, just when you notice you're tense, in the middle of the day, driving, being late, wanting to get there. Just try one of these. Here's an interesting one. Eye and head orientation. So you're going to move your eyes first, and then your head. Keep breathing in your low back, and let your eyes drift, and then slowly follow with your head. The head follows where the eyes go, the eyes lead. And move slowly. You don't have to do this quickly. Eyes drift, head follows. Eyes drift, head follows. Keep it easy. And now stay really curious. How does it feel to do that? Notice inside. Did your jaw soften if you hold your jaw tight? Your shoulders easier on your frame? Is your breath different? Is your stomach gurgling? Is your breath deeper? All of those little shifts are really good news. That is literally your nervous system shifting towards rest, restore, and relaxation. And even the smallest change you notice tells you your nervous system is listening to you. One of the biggest shifts in my own thinking on my healing journey has been this. I cannot force. I'm a doer. I cannot force relaxation. I cannot make it happen. We need to learn to invite regulation, because a regulated body can respond. It can tense when it needs to. But the brilliant thing is it softens and lets go when it doesn't need to be tense. And that's what resilience is. Resilience isn't the absence of stress. It's the freedom to move into stress and out of it as needed to respond to your life. And notice what just became possible. A moment ago, you weren't the tension. You were the one watching it. You were curious about it, feeling it soften. The goal of all meditation practices is to become the quiet observer. And that's the part of you that I'm really vested in growing. When people let go of pain in the clinic, they find that calm self that can see the pattern instead of being trapped and wrapped up inside of pain. That witness doesn't come online in a braced body that's always waiting for the next shoe to drop, for the next injury to happen. So when you soften the body first using these gentle techniques, then seeing can arise. Which raises my last question. How do you teach the body this kind of flexibility again and again? And just know this, repetition builds a new baseline. Every time you pause, every time you let a breath arrive instead of force it and you're aware, every time you orient or move gently with your head following your eyes instead of pushing, you're giving your nervous system new information. You're showing it has options. You're working with it instead of at it. The nervous system learns the way. Water carves into stones, not in one dramatic moment. The stone breaks. But through gentle repetition over and over, the stone begins to shape. Your body begins to trust. So over time, those small movements become a new baseline, not because you forced change, but because your body keeps experiencing something different and it wants to help you. So if that conscious change is felt as useful and it happens often enough, it'll start to believe it. So if your body's always feeling tense, please hear this. You are not weak, you're not failing, and you're not broken. Your body has simply become very, very good at protecting you. And you, the witness, the higher part of you, can come in to help. That protection isn't permanent. With awareness, with gentle movement, repeated experiences of safety, the nervous system learns in a new way. That is the quiet work underneath everything I teach. When the body feels safe enough to let down its guard, to widen its perception, something steadier comes forward for all of us. The calm self, the receptive self, who can finally look around and choose instead of bracing for the next injury. That's the real homecoming. Not a tension-free life, because that ain't happening. A self that feels safe enough to live inside the life you have. So if this resonated, let me know in the comments where your body holds tension, what this practice might have helped you soften. And like the video, subscribe. We have so much more to explore, and I absolutely love doing this together. So move with kindness, breathe with awareness, and remember, your body isn't trying to make difficulty for you. It's not trying to make your life harder. It's trying to make sure you get through it safely and ideally happily. You're not broken, you're protecting. So soften before you strive. See you guys later.